welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. These are your hosts, Chris and Deepom here. And we are back to review and discuss The Flash first. Here we have Season 4, Episode 3, Luck Be a Lady. A new meta called Hazard causes bad luck for Barry and the team, while Harry Wells returns to Earth 1 with a message for Wally from Jesse. Yeah, that's an understatement with the message.
Yo!
A little bit of we'll save. I'm gonna save Wally for last. 'Cause I know a lot of people haven't been happy how they're treating our man Wally, and I can't say I blame him. But we'll get into that.
I can't. This isn't the Kid Flash. It's the Flash.
You say what now?
I blame him.
Oh no, I said I can't blame the people for being upset about it.
I can.
Oh, you can? Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So first thing I want to set up with, hey, you know what? I think we should say this, and we kind of, the first episode we were, they were back. They did Flash Reborn, and we had talked about how, hey, we kind of wish they had, drawn out a little bit more with, bringing Barry back. But outside of that, we're like, hey, you know what? They're doing a pretty good job of seeming to get back to the basics. And I have to say that, the way this opens up, with them kind of explaining a little bit more about what the Thinker is doing. I really like the way they're doing the villain setup this year. I mean, it's clearly their first time doing something that's not a speedster as the main villain. But if you think about the way that they've broken it out, and not breaking it out, but the way that they're handling it so far, it's kind of the slow burn, slow way they did season 1. I feel like these shows, whenever they get off track, they go back to their basics. Arrow did it when they got off track, went back to the basics with season 5, a little bit of season 4. And here it seems the Flash is doing the same thing. They're using a different type of villain, but it's a slow burn. Like, we know that the Thinker is a villain, but we're watching his, no pun intended, thought process in bringing these new metas out and what's happening with it. And so far, I like it. I like the way he's saying. I think it's such a great. It allows the show to have, fun, still be fun and have these fun moments while also recognizing there's this ominous villain who's kind of controlling things in the background.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's really worked for me and for you is that they've set, like, the last 2 seasons they've mired the team in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And this time they're treating, like you said, season 1, where the dark is always present, but we as the viewer know it and they may not. Mm-hmm. We know there's something in the water. They don't know there's sharks off the coast.
Right.
They're just enjoying a day at the beach. And the tension that leads to that collision is more, for me as a viewer of this show, satisfying than watching them constantly wrestle a shark for 22 episodes.
Right. Unless it's King Shark. Then
well, hold on.
Right. Yeah.
That was strictly a metaphor.
Right.
Specific metaphor. If they want to do a 22 episode King Shark run, I am, for one, here for it.
Well, that's the funny thing about this show, right? It's like it's so comic booky that you have to put that caveat in there. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm talking about actual, like, a metaphor sharks, not like actual sharks, because I know we've actually had King Shark on the show, and so that's a little bit, so it's kind of funny. But no, like I said, I like the setup. We don't know exactly his motivation, the Thinker's motivation, but we're kind of establishing that he's and here's the thing, we don't even know, if you think about it, if he was planning. Well, actually, I guess he did, because they even broke that down. Like, I like how they did the breakdown at the end when they don't know the Thinker is behind it, but they Harry kind of was like, yo, seems like somebody kind of manufactured this.
He spotted some architecture behind what was going on.
Yeah, it's like, well, he kind of forced you guys' hand to bring back Barry. He, basically got these 12 people onto that bus, knowing that the bus was going to pass through that dark matter when Barry came back, and he kind of set this all up. So we know that he's had something. We don't know exactly why he did it, but we can even see why he, like, I think last episode he was like, hey, when there was a Kilgore, it was like, hey, we need to capture the rest of them. It's like, okay, what do you mean capture them? If you created them, why do you need to go back and capture them? Why did you not pick them up immediately? Well, we got the answer to this episode. He's basically let them out into the wild to see, one, what their power sets are and how they can use their powers, and then 2, testing the water, see how Barry and the team handle it. It's kind of like, remember Jurassic Park where they were talking about the Velociraptors would test the cages to see where the weak spots in the cages were. That's kind of what the Thinker's doing by letting these metas out to try to find out, okay, where are the strengths and the weaknesses of the Flash and his team and what's going on here. It's like a controlled experiment. And, when you look at it that way, it allows them story-wise to tell, you still have these fun stories. Like this is not a down episode. It's a very fun episode.
That was a fun hour.
Right, very fun hour. With the exception of the Wally stuff. But outside of that, you have a very fun hour. But then you also, like you said, you can see that there's something. It's not all fun and games. Like, Hazard basically turns into I called her a walking Final Destination.
It's pretty good.
I mean, if you think about it, because I'm watching her power, like when Barry confronts her as Barry in Jitters, and I'm like,
You see the shit start to happen. You're like,
right?
Yeah.
Wait. Is that guy gonna accidentally fire that nail gun off into that baby? That's like there's a lot of crazy stuff. You're like, I've seen this before. This is Final Destination. This is what happens in Final Destination. So, but yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching. To see how, the Thinker's looking at like how her powers work. And what they can do, and like even he pointed out, it's like, yo, no, she might seem like she's the, like I think his helper was like the mechanic was like, oh well, she's a flake. I don't know why you're so worried, why you're so interested in her. He's like, she can actually be the biggest help to us at all of everybody. And when you look at how it goes down, they had to literally let the particle accelerator explode again and fire off again to stop her. She's gonna be a fucking problem.
It's wild because, like, you're right. It's one of those things that's like you say, oh, she's got good luck powers. Like, as a conceit, that's kind of like charming.
Mm-hmm.
But then to see it in action, you're like, oh no, this is going horribly wrong. And plus, you get the Thinker like talking about her previously unlucky life in like the most funny clinical ass terms ever.
Yeah. No, I really enjoy how deadpan and how just straight face he is when he does all this stuff. You're watching it going, oh, this is just she's just sad. She's just sad, and then you hear his voiceover with it. It's not good, but yeah, it's even the way they cut the promos. Again, you see the promo for this. It's just like, oh fuck, you're gonna have Barry, slipping on marbles and. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be a fun episode, and this was a fun episode. It's not gonna be that serious. It's like you said, bad luck powers. Who gives a fuck? It's Becky. Her name, call her Becky. It's like, what can Becky do? And then you see that, oh, I see what Becky can do. Becky can actually. This is like some metaphor for the election. It's like Becky can turn 53% real quick and fuck everybody up really, really quick, and that's what happens. It's. I like how they did that. I think it was really, really good. Even down to the idea of the more luck, the more she wins and the more good luck she gets, the worse off everybody else gets. Like she was, first of all, the longest slot machine ever. All right, slot machines don't work that way. They don't.
Maybe they do if you're ready to hit the jackpot. I've never hit a jackpot. Maybe the more money is on the line, the slower it goes, which would actually be a nice little function.
It would be, but no, I don't. I'm watching that going, yeah, no, she would have gotten her triple cherries way sooner than that. Like it took like a good 5 minutes. Like everything else is going on. I'm like, yeah, guys, you guys are all dead. Like again, this is another one of those alternate realities that was created once fucking Wild Dog got saved by Oliver in season 1, in episode 1. Yeah, we're now living in an alternative universe where everybody died.
After because Barry died when he listened to Iris.
Right.
And threw lightning at himself.
Oh, yeah, well, that's right. So we got another dead Barry right here. Oh man. But yeah, no. I think that, and then I gotta say it. The CG on Barry slipping on the marbles was bad.
Yeah,
that was really bad. Again, I have a certain limit for CW stuff, and they're usually not that bad. Like it was really like really bad. Nothing
Yeah,
to,
it wasn't.
huh?
I mean, it wasn't good. Yeah, I don't see why.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. But I had to mention it. I had to mention how bad it was. 'Cause it's one of those things that normally, when you see, and you can tell when they do things in CG, because again, it's CW. You know, they do very good for the context of it being the CW. But when I saw that, it stood out to me. I was like, yeah, that doesn't even like. Why didn't you guys just? You guys would have been better off just having Grant Gustin slip on some marbles. Like the slowdown and then trying to. Oh my god! You know what? You know what reminds me? I don't know if you saw the video on Facebook. I think Rod reposted it. It's the video of like the top 10 worst like African superhero action videos or something like that.
Oh, I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
Oh, you gotta watch it. It's fucking it. They are bad. They got some of my favorite ones. Are the one with the Predator, and then there's the one with Spider-Man. They're just. Whoo! And that's what this reminded me of. It was that bad. Like you could just see the, like you guys didn't even try here, but it's okay. That versus episode is good enough that I don't care. Let's see. Let's talk Wally. Let's talk poor Wally. He got broken up to the multiverse, yo, with a hologram.
Look, as someone who's on the precipice of a marriage, the breakup cube could have helped me a lot in my past. Like, I'm not saying I would have used it. Like, that seems kind of foul, but like the option's nice.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The breakup cube is genius.
It's a brilliant invention.
Like
yeah, we can be upset it happened to Wally, but like in a vacuum, like, yo, let's go make millions of dollars.
I mean, I was laughing too hard, so you could barely hear it. But like as Harry was explaining it, it was like at some point the tissues come out, and if you need tissues, it'll pop out tissues to help you cry.
Yo,
oh.
Vicious.
Not gonna lie, Earth 2 is more and more interesting every time we hear it. Like I need more.
There's a team Jesse Quick. There's Jesse and the Quicks, which shout out Cisco. Really appreciated that.
Yeah, no. Like and why do I kind of want, and they're working so well. They kicked Harry off the team. They kicked Harry out.
That's how you know teams really hit its stride to get rid of their wells.
Yeah, he get rid of their wells, and like yeah, if you think about it, they did it early. Not like they fought him because he was an evil person. But it was her dad. Like she was just like, "I'm sorry, Dad. We got
shit, Wells."
A couple things too. One, it means that she's back on Earth 2. So I'm assuming Jay is now back on Earth 3. I'm assuming because
I made that note too.
Yeah. So I noticed this. Something small because again, before then she had gone to Earth 3 to take over for Jay. So I'm assuming that because Barry went into the Speed Force prison, Jay replaced him. He replaced Jay. Jay came back out, went back to Earth 3, and Jesse went back to Earth 2. So they created her own fucking team, but was basically like, "Hey, listen, I'm too busy doing my own thing." Which means she probably has a new boyfriend as well. And hey, listen, Wally, long distance relationships suck. And you have a multi-dimensional, multi-earth, a multiverse relationship. I just don't think that's gonna work out, man.
Good job, good effort.
Yeah, good job, good effort.
You tried.
Yeah. What got me though is at the end when he was like, "Yo, I went to, like nobody even knows I was gone. I went to Earth 2 to talk to Jesse. You guys didn't even know I was gone." And I know other people were asking, hey, and again, apparently the people were asking on social media as they were watching it, they were live tweeting, and I kind of really wasn't paying attention. But when he said that, I was like, oh my God, you're right, Wally. I didn't notice you were gone.
Right?
I'm sorry. I didn't. Like, I know, again, and I totally understand that, like, there are other, black tweeters and people that watch the show who probably were very, are very, in tune to Wally and stuff like that because he's a black character, things like that. But just as the show, I'm not that attached to Wally like that. I mean, I'm attached to Wally because he's Wally West, but also know
Right.
that it's not going to be Wally West's show.
Ever.
So yeah, it's, and after they quickly brought back Barry this season, I'm like the only way you're gonna get Wally West if they make another show. It's just
That's Ooh, I have a theory.
or they put him on Legends, But
There you go.
exactly, and that's what I've been seeing that too. But that's the only way they can do that because they just don't. It's Barry's show, and so you're not gonna be able to get Wally like that. So when the episode's going on, it's a good episode, and a lot of people had things like it's not like they just. It's not like they sideline Wally for like bum characters. We got some Iris and Barry. We got Joe and Cecile. We got a lot of other stuff going on that was really really good. Honestly, there just wasn't enough time and room for Wally. And
It's like when they wrote Hunter and Bobby off of Agents of Shield.
exactly. And so when he said that, I was like, "Damn, Wally, you're right. I honestly forgot you were here. I thought maybe you were crying and you were upset, and I just didn't notice that you were gone." And yeah, so and it's not to say that the writers are completely excused for this. I think they could have done a better job of like say, remember Wally was the Flash, he was Kid Flash. He was working with Cisco and Iris for that 6 months. So they could have written something in to show that he felt the way like Iris did. Like when Barry came back and was doing all this stuff, and Iris like, hey, wait a minute, I've been doing a lot of work here too. You need to get used to the team dynamic. They didn't really do that. Like Wally kind of just fell back and did.
Yeah, but also, I think kind of if you've got one character expressing an emotion, it's kind of redundant to do it the same story beat twice.
Oh, I get it. And again, I don't know how they could have done it, or even if it was a throwaway line and saying that Wally was like, "No, I'm glad you're back," because I was tired of doing this all by myself. Something like that. It didn't have to be the same emotional beat, but something along the line. But they kind of just didn't. It just kind of went back to, oh well, okay, you're back, and it's fine. I mean, and they had some stuff there. Like there was a time when, and I guess it was more, they treated it more funny. But I looking at what happened this episode, I think it was more of a, nah, you guys are fucking up. When Wally mentioned that Cisco had done all that stuff to Barry's suit.
Yeah, but like also they played off the was it the they were only capturing 2 out of 3 metas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, like you said, it was bound to happen, but like you said, I've seen a lot of people say, "Hey, you moving to Legends." I think that's good. We already know that Victor Garber's leaving Legends, so what you want to leave Jax? Jax is really good at keeping the Wave Rider together, and they already don't use Firestorm as much, so. There are I have other thoughts about how they can handle that, like and I'll say that for Legends, but yeah, you could easily move Wally over to the Legends. I mean, he's a speedster, so that, you can add in time travel there, and like there's a lot of stuff they can do there to kind of give him a little bit more shine. And that show is more of an ensemble show anyway, and I think it's more set up for doing that, and it gives you some space because it's just hard. Again, I'll go back to the idea of making Wally too old. I think hurt them.
I think it hurt them if you want more Wally on the show. But I don't
no,
think the
that's
show
what
necessarily needs Wally.
well, and that's what I mean. If you're gonna bring Wally West in, you need to make him way younger. It needs to be like because basically what they did? They did what we said that people do with they do with Batman so much. They give us an older Robin. Like Robin's young. Like that's what it is to be a Robin. Is to be the boy wonder. You're not the young adult Robin, not the young.
I also think the intent was never for it to be a 2 Flash show. I think that they made him older so they could eventually write him off.
Oh, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And so, and I'm just saying that I'm just painting the picture because of why I'm not that sad to see him go. Like
Yeah, no,
I
and honestly, if he doesn't go to Legends, I'm 100% cool with that too. Because guess what? It's going to be an event when he comes back.
yeah, exactly. And he'll come back.
You've now made Wally a special attraction.
Exactly. And he's gonna come back. But like you said, the show, this Flash show is Barry's show. And unless you, or shit, what they could even do is, and I don't think they're doing this. I mean, they have a Titan show coming on. They can move him to the Titan show if they want to connect.
You keep my CW away from that TNT track until it proves itself.
You're absolutely right. No, you're right. You're right. I'm just saying that if they wanted to and they want to do it right, they could move Wally over there, and that would make sense just because you need that. Like even in the comics, like when you have the Robins and you have the when you have the sidekicks, you have that Teen Titans outlet so that you can explain why they're not there. Well, why isn't Robin with Batman? Oh, he's with the Teen Titans. He's got his own things going on. He's doing his okay, cool, makes sense. And right now, like you said, this wasn't supposed to be a two Flash show. They've handled the other Flashes like Jesse Quick and Jay Garrick by leaving them on their Earth. So Jesse Quick is on Earth 2. Jay is on, I think he's on Earth 3.
Jay's on 3, yeah.
Yeah. So unless they put Wally on another Earth or something like that, like even putting him in Keystone, is
it's
still
across the river.
Yes, it's across the river. It's still too close. So you need a way to kind of sideline them. And you don't want to kill him off. You want to leave him there so it is an event when you bring him back. And so, yeah, it makes sense. And this explains why he's not on the crossover cover. He's just not around. He'll be back.
And I love the fact that he went to Blue Valley.
Yes.
God, it was such a great. For those who don't know, Wally West in the comics is originally from Blue Valley, Nebraska. And it was just a really great nod. I thought it was it was something they didn't have to throw in. They could have said Keystone.
I thought they were
going back to fucking college, which everyone's forgotten about.
Yeah, I thought they were going to say Keystone too. I thought they were going to say that, and I think that's the other thing too. Is like when you're not set up to write a two Flash show, you need to make sure you give him something to do. Like you said, they could have just had him go back to college. Like, hey, we got enough superheroes here. You go back to college, focus on your degree, and things like that. But like you said, once and I've come to this understanding and I was okay with this when I realized they weren't going to give us at least 3/4 of a show with Flash. Oh, with Kid Flash. When they didn't do that at the beginning of in episode 1, I realized I was like, okay, we're not going to get this. It's not going to. They are already telling us right now it's never going to be that kind of show, which is fine. But you need to now manage your expectations. So any expectation expecting Wally to ever be that way. And we all had those thoughts. We all, hey, you can do this, you can do that. We've now seen that they're not going to do that. So now that we know they're not going to do that, I'm okay with it. You need to take Wally off the board, need to move him away. And I get that people might think that it deserves better. Like I was seeing some people, it's like, they just let him go. And I'm like, yeah, because they don't really care either. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, we put it real here. Wally's new. Everybody else on that team has been around for way longer than Wally. Right. Wally only really came in to play recently, Like
he got his powers mid last season.
Right. Shit, he joined them around that time. He didn't know.
He joined him the end of the season before.
Right.
He was there for Zoom, but Savitar, halfway through Savitar season, we find out who Julian actually is. That's when he gets his powers.
Yeah.
So about honestly, last December. Like if you want to be real about timelines.
Exactly. So, not too bad. And again, I'm okay with it. And again, I it would be something different if he was like the only black character on the show and they were sidelining the only, but he's not. Like, shit. Joe about to get Joe and Cecile about the if we're going to be filling the gap of Wally West with Joe and Cecile, I'm okay with that.
Little Bart West,
dude,
who gets stolen by the Thinker and then rapidly age into a teenager.
See, why are you like this? Why are you?
I'm just throwing things out there because they're not going to happen, and now when they don't happen, someone will get mad at me like it's my fault.
So just going quickly. one, I love the fact that I love how I feel like the relationship writing on this show is way better than it's ever been. I like the fact that Joe didn't completely shut down Cecile when she was just like, "Yeah, so maybe buy a new house." Because my reaction was going to be like, "Oh, Joe ain't going to be for that shit." Joe's going to be like, "No, this is the house I grew up. This is the house my kids grew up in. I'm not going to do that." And his reaction was real. It was like, "You're probably right, but I'm going to need some time to think about it." You know,
Yeah,
and
that's mature shit.
right, and again, you're thinking it's like, well, he is the older kid. He's, it's Jesse L. Martin, so he should be. But it's like they've written. They're not always the CW is not always strong at writing relationships. So, but that was very, very mature writing there. Even down to the end when he was like, you know what, I decided you're right. Let's move. And she was like, yeah, but then I heard you talking about growing your kids. And as soon as you started talking about your kids growing up here, I was like, oh my goodness, Cecile's pregnant. Come on. And then
I thought they killed Joe.
Dude.
When he froze, I was like, oh, he's dead.
Uh,
Huh. I was like, what a risk. I wouldn't have done it, but okay, I get it.
I could feel the blame Chris coming through, and I was like, he's not dead, he's still breathing.
Ready for it. I was ready to come here like, y'all see what Chris did?
I mean, technically, I probably have.
I'm ready to talk all the shit, man.
I mean, technically, I probably have technically kind of killed him a little bit there.
I'm saying.
So, but yeah, man. No, but I really enjoy that. I love seeing that. I love that them talking about the house. I really love when you think about it. I mean, we have black love on TV. I mean, it's really, really good. I mean, you have this is you couldn't ask for anything better, And I'm really enjoying how they're writing them, and like I said, if we're gonna sideline Wally, which understandable. I mean, just from a character perspective, from a technical perspective of always having another speedster around. I mean, if you have two speedsters on the show, at some point you got to get
no crime.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just it's too much going on there, right?
Plus, I think not having a speedster villain allows them to kind of free up the other speedsters.
Exactly. So if we're gonna, I'm okay with giving all that up if it means, hey, we're gonna get things like this with Joe and Cecile and seeing other sides of characters and expanding those characters. I mean, remember, Cecile came in from a just a DA that was giving Joe a look here and there, going, hey, Joe, you should ask her out. To now they're saying I love you. They're moved in together and she's pregnant now. So that moved pretty damn quickly, So and granted, it's been some time because it's probably been about a year and a half, but still, that's pretty fucking quick. I mean, she's moved in. I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on there. So I'll take.
Some would say too fast.
Maybe a little too fast. But also I also know that a flat story always ends tragically. So I'm not gonna lie. Part of me was when he was like, "Oh, Joe, you guys are pregnant. That's great." And then part of me was like, "Oh, that's never good. That's not gonna go over well with anything."
It's spelled BLAME space KRISS. Everyone know I didn't say that.
Listen, I'm just saying things never go well for this. But it's also why I fucking loved Iris at the church with the funeral. She was great.
Yo, I love Iris going a little crazy.
Cause look, man, look, I'm not saying she was right, but I understand. Like everything
I'm 10 days out. I was like, Iris is crazy. I was like, I get it.
No, look. All right, look. I knew Iris was serious and didn't give a shit no more and was like, yo, I'm not having nothing fuck up this shit no more. We're going to get married. We're going to do this. When she handed Barry a clip-on fucking tie. That was
she was serious.
A clip-on tie. Dude, I haven't had a clip-on tie since elementary school, man. They make those for adults?
Oh, they do. I've been inside a Radio Shack. They do. Shout out to any of our listeners who work in Radio Shacks who don't think exist anymore. I thought it was a fair shot to take. I thought about other places to say. I landed in Radio Shack. I was like, those don't exist.
You're right. You find one every now and then, but you're right.
I think they liquidated a lot of those stores.
Oh, they did. Every now and then you find
Okay,
one.
good. You know what? To the listener I offended, worth it.
To the listener,
worth it. It was a good joke. It was a good joke.
It was valid. That was a very, very good joke. Valid joke. No, but I like that. I mean, from climbing over the altar, like trying to take down some of the stuff down. Fucking asking if the
what a
fucking,
lovely casket.
Yes, it's a cedar. Like it
You
just
can't call him the casket. Iris.
like I can't blame her, yo. I can't. And since we know what's going to happen on their wedding day too, like I can't really blame her for wanting to go ahead and just say, "Listen, we can do the ceremony whenever. Let's just go ahead and get married. Let's just go ahead and get the paperwork signed and do all that stuff, and we can worry about the other stuff later." Like I understand. I totally fucking understand. So, but I love that. I love I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I love that she was a little over the top, and to the point that even Barry was just like, Barry watched her climb over the altar and was like, "Yo, what are you? No, you can't. Iris? What are you doing? I can't. I'm sorry."
She's just cracking up, man.
Yeah,
crack up around wedding time.
It was so good. So good.
I seen them.
Oh,
I've been them.
So good. Like so, I look, man. No Irish slander here, man. I fucks with that.
This isn't slander. This is, honestly, I think the writers realized that she had so much more to give.
Yeah.
They'd never let her do this in season 1.
Oh no.
This was fun. This was great. And that's one of the things about this show, and I know we're wrapping it up. This was a lot from cover to cover, opening with them playing laser tag.
Yeah. Yes.
To Cisco saying, "You have failed this city." And the real way Rebecca Sharp was had good luck, they spelled her fucking name right on the coffee cup. Like I was like, there are little things. Barry, don't ever go into the crawl space.
Yeah.
They turned the water off. I was like,
right.
Oh, Barry's just like us. The crawl space is the worst place in the world.
Yeah. I have one more thing I got to say here too is, Harry Cisco or Batman and Robin. Like every Harry needs a Cisco, every Cisco needs a Harry. Like I'm sorry.
Morty.
Right. You and here's the thing. I can't tell you which one's Rick and which one's Morty. I can't tell you which one's Batman, which one's Robin. That becomes the argument.
That's the scariest part about it.
And that's the scariest part about it. And if I would love to have that argument between the two, but you need them. Like their moments together are great. And I even love the fact that, hey, we're getting Harry back on Earth. We knew we were going to get him back eventually. Hey, we're getting back on Earth 1 because like you need to be here, man. Like he didn't get kicked off the team. He got kicked off the Earth. He got kicked.
Well, I think it's also being a little dramatic. But do you think we get this Harrison Wells the whole time?
He goes back at some point because it's just what it is. But
I think we're getting a different one every season, honestly.
Oh,
I think he reconciles with Jesse and he goes to find the mini one again.
I think we might get.
And he says something. He says something silly like, "Don't kill this one," and then everyone's like, "Wait, what?"
Right. I would like to get a new one just because I like the way Kavanaugh has been playing them, but at the same time, I like this one. I like this Harry. This
fun dynamic.
This Harry, because again, I don't know what the fandom thought about HR. I like HR because he was such a dramatic difference from the other Wells we had, but Harry is the one. Like Harry's
peak Wells.
Yeah, it's peak Wells, and the dynamic between Cisco and Harry is just so good. Like with him complaining, it's like, I told you not to do it. No, you told me I got the calculations from you. It's like, and I told you when you use them to call me and contact me before you did it. I told you not to do this. Like I like them because he's like, Harry just has such this hard personality. But you can see that Cisco has gotten inside there and like they're good for each other. Like they drive each other fucking nuts, but they're also when each one of them is at their peak. So, yeah, we can get another Wells. I just because I like the fun aspect of that. Just like how it was fun watching Brett Dalton play different versions of Ward.
Right.
But I like Harry. Like Harry is the Wells that I think should be around most of the time, just because he's the he's the perfect combination of helpful and asshole. Like the first Harrison Wells we got that was Earbot Thon was cold and asshole, but was fake helpful. HR was very helpful, but was an idiot. This one you get a combination of both. He's a genius. He has terrible bedside manners, but he genuinely wants to help. Like the way he was so uncomfortable trying to explain the breakup box to fucking Wally. Oh man, he's not a people person. He's so not a people person. And Cisco is a people person. So you combine the two of them together, and it's fucking magic. I'm sorry, it just is. I fucking love it. So yeah, got to keep that Harry and Cisco dynamic together, because yeah, I just fucking love that shit. So yeah. We got anything else? I think that was covers pretty much everything here. We talked about Wally,
That was
Donald
it.
Hazard. So what do you think the end game with Thinker is so far? I mean, we obviously know he's got 12. He's got we got 12. There was a dozen people on that bus. I like the fact that they showed us them, most of them on the bus too, so we saw them. What do you think Thinker is actually trying to do here?
I don't know, and that's cool. I like that
Yeah.
we're kind of in the dark, that we feel like I think that you're right. This is capturing a lot of the energy of season one, because while we knew Wells was bad, we didn't know what Wells wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and they slowly rolled it out to us. I think if they kind of do the same kind of slow burn with the added deft touch of the last two seasons behind them, it could be a really special season.
Yeah. So, do you think they'll go in? With Arrow having the agent looking after Oliver Queen and his identity, and with the Thinker knowing Barry's identity here, do you think that they'll go with the full identities for these heroes?
Well, I think the Flash is difficult because for the first part, it is hard to do the Flash as everyone knows as Barry Allen. I don't think there's ever been a public Barry Allen in any continuity. There's been a public Wally West, but he only unmasked so that his uncle would get the recognition he felt he deserved. I also think that this is a piece of knowledge that doesn't interest the Thinker. It's one of those things where his plans are so much bigger than knowing one character's identity. Could it be used as a pawn at some point? Maybe, but I don't really see them playing those games. Arrow's interesting because there's been occasions in continuity where Oliver Queen was kind of a wink and a nod. Everyone kind of knew he was Green Arrow, but no one talked or did anything with the authorities because the city beloved him so. And with Mayor Queen as popular as he is, could we see a similar situation occur? I don't know. I think that the upcoming episodes of Arrow are going to be heartrending, and that you see Ollie back in the mask way sooner than they made you believe.
Oh, I assume he was going to be back in the. Oh, here's the thing, like that Diggle in the mask is not going to last more than one episode. Like, it's not even going to last. It's not even going to last a full episode. Like, I don't even know why we're pretending like this. Like, I always, again, it goes back to the whole thing with Wally as the Flash. Like, listen, folks, the leads on these shows are the leads on this show. All right, and it's different than the comic books. You're not going to see it change. Unless they decide that person's going to move on to something to greener pastures. They're not going to all of a sudden become secondary on their own fucking show. So yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So, but no, you're right. I don't think that was something that's in the cards for the Flash. I think they've done a good job of having like each of the now everybody on Team Flash has their little panic buttons and they can do stuff like that. But I think it adds into a level of it's too much, I think, for a TV show, and it's too much even for for the movies. Like I said, I don't know if it will ever see that. I don't think it could ever be that. Comic books is something different. I think it works in the comic books, because then they also come up with almost every hero has themselves unmasked and has their identities revealed, and there's always some weird way of them bringing it and hiding it back again. So. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's just one of the things I thought, hey, you might as well bring it up. It also goes with the running joke about everybody knows Barry's identity anyway. So, all right, Well, there you guys have it. That is our review / discussion of the latest episode of The Flash. Make sure you subscribe to us on Super Tuesday Recap on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. Go to the MTR Network. We are now over 600 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you guys very much for that. Next goal is 700, so if you have not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please go and subscribe to YouTube. You can get all our episodes there as well. We're also, the same night we're recording this, we're going to be recording our first mailbag episode. You're really going to like that. You can only get those on the Super Tuesday feed or on YouTube. So you got to subscribe to both of those to hear that. And we're going to be talking about comic books and some movie and TV news stuff. So you're not going to want to miss that episode. We have a really great one planned for you. And if you want to get in on that, you can just email us at mailbag@mtrnetwork.net. If you have questions or comments on this episode of The Flash, email us at mtrailerreviews@mtrnetwork.net and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll read it on air. We actually did get one. I can't remember.
I was going to save it for Legends.
We're going to save it for Legends? Okay, yeah. So we're going to read the one that was given to us on Legends, and I also have an email for Legends. So, yeah, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.